Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, it's interesting how things go. I felt a lot of guilt not being able to make it to the Skulener Rebbe's Levaya, and I realized, it's a big deal to go and to walk and everything. It wasn't going to be so easy. I would like to go to the Kever, pray my respects. I'm going to be in Rockland County on Sunday. It's already Nissen, so even though they say you could go to Kibbutz Tzadikim during Nissen, I'm a little conflicted what I should do. If I should stop there on Sunday. But the fact was, today I went to work in the morning. I left to go perform a funeral, some more work, and now I'm on my way back to work. And performing a funeral for someone I didn't even know, someone from my neighborhood. It was interesting how cathartic it was to feel like, here I am, showing respect to a Jew. I wanted to show respect to another Jew yesterday, and I'm showing respect to a Jew today. Saying the Kel Malay and the Kaddish together with the family, helping them through that. So I felt, felt the grieving process there with thinking about the Skulener Rebbe. And sad how the media, what do they pick on? They don't focus on what an incredible person he was, how beloved he was, how many people came to show respect, and they were all orderly, and they were all respectful, and they focus on two accidents that happened, that unfortunately an officer was injured by the hearse, which is quite strange. There must be something spiritual going on there. That can't be a coincidence. It'd be heretical to imagine something like that was a coincidence. And I'm kind of waiting to hear what the stories are behind that. And then there was someone operating a drone that ran out of batteries and hit another officer. Also, something out of that's something min hashamayim. It's not a normal story there. There has to be something more to that story spiritually behind the scenes, And then some of the media outlets focused on how the Skulener Rebbe was very against all kinds of technology, And I'll be the first to admit that I'm hooked on all these technology things, and I'm a sinner, and I don't even know how I would free myself of these addictions, but how humbly and sweetly he would tell someone, it's not enough to throw away your TV, you got to take a hammer and smash it. And I'm a guy who likes to watch TV, but I still love the Skulener Rebbe. And that's something people have to learn to have respect, even And the thing is, I don't disagree with him. I'm just a sinner. I admit it, and I'm working on a lot of other things in my life, So is that? I don't know if that's the first thing for me to work on right now. I think about Lahavdil, a story. I remember seeing a preacher on TV, and he was talking about how Christmas and the Christmas tree and all these things are pagan in origin and have nothing to do with Christianity, have nothing to do with Christmas. And he said, but if you're still cursing, if you still swear and you still, do all these other things, you're not doing yourself any favor getting rid of your Christmas tree. Meaning, it's the same thing, I remember Rabbi Weinberger saying, there was a boy, he was asking, he wanted to start to wear techelis. Rabbi Weinberger said, focus on some other things first before you get to the techelis, And so, with that, now that I mentioned Rabbi Weinberger, I'll tell a story of Rabbi Weinberger with the Skulener Rebbe. And the thing is I'm going to go a little bit further with this story. Just thought of this now. So the Skulener Rebbe called Rabbi Moshe Weinberger from Woodmere. I think at the time he was living in Far Rockaway. I think it was before he was a big Rebbe. He was already a speaker at this, but... And Skulener Rebbe said, you have to... I think you're the man for the job. There's a boy from Monroe. In those days it wasn't as common. Off the derech. And it's not so common today. People just make a bigger deal out of it. It's really not much bigger today than it ever was in history, and obviously in the earlier times it was even more common than it is today. That's why we had the Holocaust, That's what Rev Victor Miller said. So in Europe, I don't think it was so holy, And I know people are offended I say that, but that's what Rev Victor Miller said. And he was there in Europe and he saw it, That's what the Skulener Rebbe was working on. And the thing is, and the communists locked him up, and now the Democrats want to turn us into the Romania that locked up the Skulener Rebbe. Romania today isn't that Romania, but AOC and Bernie Sanders want to turn it into that. So the Skulener Rebbe said to Rabbi Weinberger, there's a boy from Monroe. He's not from anymore. He grew up very from Hasidish Satmar. He's not from right now. And I think you're the right person to get him back. And Rabbi Weinberger tells the story. He said this boy was so confused. He barely spoke English. But, he wanted to look cool, so he dressed like Fonzie from Happy Days with a leather jacket and jeans, which wasn't the style at the time. Actually, the style at the time was to tie an onion to your belt. But anyway, they only had those big yellow onions because of the war. Anyway, and this guy, he was on drugs and had all kinds of girlfriends or whatever, and he was just, he wasn't interested in Yiddishkeit at all. And Rabbi Weinberger was talking to him, counseling him for a while, and he got him to the point where he said, "All right, I'll be modern Orthodox, I'm not gonna have a beard and pay. It's not wear a shtreimel, but I'll keep Shabbos and kosher." I don't know if I want my wife to cover her hair or not, but whatever. He's like, all right, good. He felt like he accomplished something. He saved this boy, got him. He wants to marry a Jewish girl and keep Shabbos and kosher. Like he said, he wasn't so sure he wants his wife to cover her hair, but he'll be modern Orthodox. That's mission accomplished, right? And the Skulener Rebbe was also maskim. Mission accomplished. Knowing this kid, he's going to have a TV in his house, probably. In those days there was no internet. But at least, keep Shabbos and kashrus, So, a week or two later, he gets a call from this boy's father. And he says to him, die bist der, was gesucht für Mann sehen, darf nicht unter der Strammel beim Chassene. He said, are you serious? Is this a joke? The father said to Rabbi Weinberger, you're the guy who told my you're the guy who told my son that when he gets married, he doesn't need to wear a shtreimel? And Rabbi Weinberger thought he was joking. Like, are you serious? Like, do you know how bad your son was? Conveying with shiksas and drugs and all kinds of things. And you care if he's going to wear a fur hat? It's like, I'd also like my son to wear a shtreimel, but I'm not going to disown him if he doesn't wear a shtreimel. And he did it, Rabbi Weinberger. And none of his Edomer, as far as I know, put on a shtreimel. He has one Edom with a package. Anyway, he was there, was gesucht für Mann sehen, darf nicht unter der Shtreimel auf der Chassene. He said, are you out of your mind? And it's beim Ins mit Tinnisch soll, mit Finnisch soll, mit darf unter der Shtreimel, was ist das? So, Rabbi Weinberger went back to Skulener Rebbe. The Skulener Rebbe said, I don't know, It's, this guy's crazy, Skulener Rebbe said, he understood that for a boy like this to be modern Orthodox, it's not the end of the world. From where he was to where he could be. It's interesting. I cried to the Skulener Rebbe when I was a kid about certain personal things with my family, and those aren't issues anymore. And I believe it's the Skulener Rebbe's tefillas. And so anyway, why am I thinking personally about this story? Is okay, I do wear a shtreimel, but it doesn't mean anything, the shtreimel. It's just a cultural thing. It's just something cultural. It's a uniform I wear because I'm a rabbi. That's my profession. Just the same, I did this funeral today. I put on a robe like a galach because they were Reformed Jews, and one of those Reformed taluses, and I hid the tzitzis, tucked them into the beged. It's not really beged shel mitzvah anyway. So it wasn't like Larash. But, it's a uniform. So anyway, talking about all this, I don't think we're, I don't, for a while you hear a story like this and you think, well, I've heard the story for years, and I would think, I'm not like that kid, But then I think about myself, I was like, I'm not that different than him. I'm also off the derech in my own way, I mean, there's everything, stuff I have to do tshuva for. And it's not okay. It's never okay to be a sinner. You have to constantly be doing tshuva and stuff. But alright, so we're doing tshuva, right? We're trying to repent, we're trying to do what God wants from us. And we mess up, but we keep trying and trying. So, if the Skulener Rebbe, the Skulener Rebbe knew where I came from. So at least I'm modern Orthodox. I'm modern Orthodox with a Shtreimel, and I'm not a Zionist. But and I keep Chol Yisrael. And so the question is, well, should I stop wearing the Shtreimel? Should I stop keeping Chol Yisrael or whatever? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. That's silly. I'm thankful to God that I have the opportunity to do mitzvahs. I try to do harder, and I'm thankful to God for the mitzvah of tshuva. Got to keep trying, I got a lot of things to work on. Anger, materialism. A lot of things to work on. Bittul Torah, Gaiva. I got all these things to work on, so. That's the thing. Skulener Rebbe was such a humble man. He was such a lovable person. And that was the thing, I know there's one very well-known rabbi who was a big Talmud Chacham who was angry at the Skulener Rebbe because of advice that he had given to his ex-wife. And he felt that Skulener Rebbe was too much of a kanoi and what he told and what he told her and stuff like that, because he told this man's wife that because she doesn't shave her head, that's why they're having shalom bias problems, and and he said that would have made more shalom bias problems if she would have been shaving her head. And he came from a family where they're shaving their head. He's this rabbi. That's how he grew up with it by his parents. But so he became modern Orthodox. And I think he still wears a Shtreimel sometimes. I don't know. He didn't take off the beard and payas. But he's a guy who knows how to learn. He learned to brisk. Whatever it is. And I know a lot of people don't like that rabbi that I'm talking about. And I have respect for him because, usually he's intellectually honest and he's working, he's seeking really what he feels to be the proper path. But to not know who, to come from Borough Park and not know who the Skulener Rebbe is, and to be angry at the Skulener Rebbe for saying something, because I remember somebody else. He's actually a cousin from Baba Rebbe and from 45th Street, and he didn't have children for a long time, and he wanted to go to Skulener Rebbe for a bracha, but he knew Skulener Rebbe would say your wife has to shave her head. That's why he didn't go to Skulener Rebbe for bracha. Doesn't mean you're not going to go to Skulener Rebbe for bracha for something else. And so he got a bracha from Baba Rebbe, and he had twins. The Baba Rebbe was Sandik for the twins. But that's a normal approach, is to say, all right. Same thing. When it comes to Vishnitzer Rebbe, I used to always love to take pictures of tzaddikim and everything and videos and put them on when it was still Google video before it was YouTube. And so this video of me with the Skulener Rebbe was on Google video, now it's on YouTube. Anyway, there's two tzaddikim, even though I know Square Rebbe doesn't like it and Satmar Rebbe doesn't like it, but I know it's like a halfway joke where they say they don't want pictures, but but by Ramat Vishnitzer, I knew that's a serious thing. You don't take pictures of the Vishnitzer Rebbe. You don't take pictures of the Skulener Rebbe, because I know they're not moichel. The Skulener Rebbe, as much as he hated videos and he hated this, that, but I felt he was moichel. He was a loving. Not to say, the Skulener Rebbe is a loving person. The Vishnitzer Rebbe, Skulener Rebbe, was a loving person, but in a different way. They had a different derech. The Skulener Rebbe is just the most lovable person in the world. So, how can you be mad at him for saying something like that? It's one thing you don't listen to him, but you can't be mad at him. And you saw he understood. He understood the story with Rabbi Weinberger. So. It is what it is. Well, thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you're watching videos anyway, which you are. It's good to watch Torah anytime. And I was thinking about Reb Getzel Rosenblatt and Sadik. We just lost him. We just lost Rav Landau, Talmud Chacham. I know people who said that his hechsher was the best hechsher. Even better than the Badats, even though I'm a fan of the Badats, the Eidach Haredis, but I know people who are Badats people who said Rav Landau's hechsher was the best hechsher. So we've had a lot of losses recently, but we have to grow in Torah, keep learning, keep davening, and keep these tzaddikim alive in our hearts. And we know, the Skulener Rebbe, like I said, my own personal experience, having a dream where I encountered B'chaim Chayuso and the Svarim Kedoshim talk about that. Even a shnuk like me, a choyte machdes a rabbin like me, one of my friends, the Skulener Rebbe, like, paid Elias Neshama while he was holding hands with him, and everyone was making a big deal about it, and he was like, he was like, oh, he just fell asleep on my hand, he's snoring. I'm like, no, you don't understand, he's making Elias Neshama, you know. It's a big deal. It never happened to me. So, Kodesh Panima. I remember being Menachem Avel by the Skulener Rebbe. I remember the Pittsburgher Rebbe going into the Skulener Rebbe. And hearing them speak and everything. I remember going with the Shidlovtzer Rebbe. We had Shabbos there in Sklen. We davened there. That was the only time I ever davened Shabbos morning by Skulener Rebbe. I always thought, the davening was very long. Davening was like a normal davening. It just started really late, but it's normal davening. We'll have our memories forever. And Mitzvah Hashem, Mashiach should come and have Tchias Mason, we'll be able to go again to Tish by Skulener Rebbe.